Welcome to day 39. Today we are looking at the Children's Bible 365 stories that will cover every single day this year. I hope you enjoy this series. If you're new to the channel, you may want to subscribe so that you just get notified of the new updates. So today, day 39, is the new Prime Minister, which can be found in Genesis 41. When the king of Egypt heard Joseph explain his dreams, he was horrified. He knew that in spite of 7 years of plenty harvests, the 7 years of shortage that were to follow would bring famine and death. But Joseph had something more to say. "Your Majesty," he went on, "may I suggest that you should do? Choose one of your men and put him in charge of all food supplies. He can supervise the storage of grain during the years of bumper crops, so that there will be enough to feed everyone during the years when crops fail. Then the people won't starve." The king was pleased with Joseph and his wise advice. "You shall be that man," he announced. "You have shown how wise you are, so I shall put you in charge of everything that needs to be done in the whole of Egypt. You shall be my new Prime Minister." On the king's orders, Joseph was given a fine chariot, servants of his own, the rich clothes and jewels. Joseph had learned to trust God and to do his work well, as a slave and even in prison. He set about his important duties in just the same way. He travelled the length and breadth of Egypt. In every city, he gave orders for huge storage buildings to be put up to hold grain. 7 years of wonderful harvest brought huge quantities of grain. Joseph arranged for it to be stored all over the country before the 7 years were up. The new storehouses were so full that even Joseph had lost count of how many grain they held. Then came the lean and hungry years, where no crops would grow. Joseph was busier than ever, selling the grain and seeing that it was fairly shared out. Soon, people living in nearby countries who were also hit by famine heard that there was grain to be had in Egypt. They travelled to Joseph to ask if they could buy grain to take home to their own lands. What do you think about that then? As we've talked about before, God being with Joseph and his monumental jump from being a prisoner to the next Prime Minister based on his obedience to God and his connection and relationship with God, because all of the glory, all of the ability was given to God about being able to translate the dreams. Joseph didn't say, "Yeah, I can do it. Yeah, no problem." He said, "No, I can't do it, but God can." And so therefore God was able to recognize and reward Joseph for his honesty. It's very hard in these days to be rewarded for honesty, because often we get punished. If you're honest about your situation nowadays, you often feel like you're punished. So, but the reverse is true with God. If you're honest with God, He will reward you. And sometimes those rewards don't come immediately, but they do come. So be obedient, be honest, and God will give you His grace and favour. God bless you.